Hello, I'm Luke Neller and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. This week we have some perfect sidescraping, a KV fighting war boys, and a defender fighting to the last shell. Enjoy! The first replay of the day comes from the North American region, where SU-03 demonstrates how to make the most of an IS-3's armor. It's a famously tough and well-protected tank, but the frontal turret placement isn't great for fighting around corners. The solution is called reverse sidescraping, and, as we can see, it's quite effective. SU has an easy time returning fire, whilst the IS-3 bounces everything thrown at it. A couple of heavies have a go at cracking the steel wall at close range, but it only gets them killed that much faster. The Allies are pressing forward, so SU turns around and goes on the attack as well. The FV-4202P goes down first, followed by a KV-85. A rival IS-3 attacks from the side, but SU reverses in time and the shot bounces off the angled pipe nose. The rival blows up and our steel wall is free to continue mopping up. The OI takes a satisfying hit, but a shot on the Conqueror bounces off. No matter, the game is won. That was like a training video on reverse sidescraping. Nice work, SU-03, and thanks for sharing. Up next, a sniper with top-notch German equipment. Penta Mailand from the EU region brings out the Leopard 1 and goes hunting for big game on highway. The bush looks promising, but a near miss by artillery proves that it will not work. This will be a mobile sniper game, and the enemy scout is the first one to be taken down. The northwestern corner of the map is crawling with enemies. Mailand puts in a single good shot before having to fall back to a more defensible position. Here they come. The sniper deals plenty of damage and helps in keeping the enemy horde at bay. The second kill is a 1-2-1, which is hiding in a crevice for some reason. The Leopard has amazing mobility, and getting out of the crevice is not a problem. Mailand decides to warm up with some parkour and finishes with a neat little cartwheel. Taking out the E-50M would be easy if it didn't have backup. It's all the same in the end, it just takes a little longer. The massive Jagdpanzer is hard to kill at range, so the sniper sprints into close combat. Spotted again. The sniper waits as the enemies hammer the house into pieces and moves on. The T-10 is 550 meters away, an easy shot for the sniper. The Jagdpanzer won't be killed from here, but why not soften it up a little? And now to finish the job. A head-on duel is dangerous, but the sniper is up to the task. The sniper charges at the last tank destroyer, which swings its gun around and lands a hit at the last moment. It won't hurt anybody ever again, though. The game is down to the last minute, but victory is in sight. Mailand drives forward and ends the game with a single HE shell. Almost 11,500 damage dealt. No wonder time was running out there in the end. Today's Top Gun comes from the Asian region and features the iconic Panzerkampfwagen Tiger Ost-B, otherwise known as the Tiger II. The Tiger is commanded by Viper 2997, who ends up in a Tier 9 encounter battle on Runeberg. The first clash in the city center doesn't go so well, so Viper changes position and tries again. After another unfortunate hit, the Tiger finds its stride and starts dishing out damage. Face-hugging the IS-3 works so well that Viper can even pick off a Super Pershing while doing it. The street is littered with wreckage that can be used for cover. There are enemies to the side as well though, so Viper has to retreat. At least there's an opportunity to pick up another kill on the way out. The enemies are all around now, and there are 2 tanks in the lead. Viper goes for the nearest one, but ends up surprising an SPG instead. A second RT kill follows, ending the RT threat. The Lorraine pounces, cutting the track and getting in 2 good hits. Luckily, it's low on hit points and Viper kills it before it does more damage. The track gets repaired and Viper rolls straight into an ambush. The Tiger takes a devastating hit and can't take any damage from now on. The fight moves to the street, full of dead tanks, and Viper takes the enemy apart. Good work. The Tiger Ein gets hit but doesn't blow up. Rather than chase after it, Viper goes looking for the T-34-1. It proves to be an elusive opponent, but eventually its luck runs out. Good game! 9 kills, 6,500 damage, and quite a few shells bounced. A game well played, Viper. Now let's head back to the EU server where Kaiser Imp provides a crucial contribution in a KV-222. The battleground is fjords, and Kaiser's Soviet Heavy is in the middle tier. The battle gets going as an enemy Electo screams, "Witness me!" and charges to its doom. Mediocre at best, I'm afraid. The ELC is also in a hurry to die. What's with the enemies today? The third victim is at least trying to use some cover. 2 more enemies dash into view and get cut down. The next encounter is a higher tier heavy, however, and its well-angled hull is too tough to penetrate even with APCR. When brute force fails, mobility is the answer. The KV and the VK trade blow after blow, and eventually Soviet armor proves superior. The dead VK's helpers are getting annoyed, but Kaiser knows how to fix that. Boom! The Hetzer keeps up the harassment until it receives the same medicine. Has this martyr given up? Back to the garage it goes either way. One of the remaining enemies starts a capture and Kaiser's KV heads back towards the home base. The T-150 would be on offer, but it's better to deal with the Kappa first. Another face-punching contest begins, but this time Kaiser goes straight for the sidearm. 1 more to go. The opponent is of higher tier and in better repair, but it drives out showing its side and Kaiser takes it apart. Game over. 11 kills with a middle tier heavy, defender and steel wool. Impressive work all around. The last replay comes from the EU region. Sergeant Danny 5056789 drives the IS-6 in a Tier 9 battle on Serene Coast and defends the home base at all cost. Danny joins a force pushing southward, but turns back when the other flank is getting crushed. A smart allied SPG hurries away as the defender gets into position. The IS-3 has a famously inaccurate gun, but Danny seems to be hitting well enough. The southern force has failed as well, and there are enemies on both sides. 2 against 10. It doesn't matter. They shall not pass! The FCM charges and scores a hit before going down. The last ally helps in killing the Ferdinand, and Danny returns the favor by taking out its wrestling partner. The Borsig bounces its first shot, but the second one is a hammer blow. Even worse, the enemy IS-6 kills the last ally, leaving the badly damaged defender alone against 5 enemies. Come on then, all of you! The Tiger blows up and the rival IS-6 is tough as nails, but an APCR round through the driver's hatch sorts it out. There are still 2 Tier 9s out there. Here's the T-10. The first 2 shots do nothing other than giving away Danny's position. Suddenly, the RT turns up behind the defender. A desperate snapshot connects and the SPG retreats without firing. Danny retreats as well, and just in time to avoid a hit from the T-10. What to do now though? Both enemies reappear and a shot from the T-10 breaks the track. The artillery hesitates and Danny uses the time to fire back at the heavy. The T-10 bounces a shot and Danny's reply misses entirely. The SPG makes this attack, misses, and gets finished off with a precious APCR shell. Okay, 2 Tier 9s to kill, with 4 armor piercers and 2 armor-piercing composite rigid shells. The T-10 decides to close the range, and Danny punches the second-to-last APCR round into its side. The Jagdtiger is finally spotted, and quick reflexes turn the hit into a bounce. The last APCR is hurled at the lumbering beast, but it fails to penetrate. Just 4 AP shells left. Danny waits for the T-10 to come around the rock, but it has actually driven far off to the flank. The defender backs away, keeping both enemies to the front of the tank. Every shot has to count, and the first one bounces off. Danny angles the hull trying to survive, fires at the underbelly of the Jagdtiger, and tracks it without doing damage. Reload, ignore the T-10, and yes! The Jagdtiger blows up. The heavies push against each other like sumo wrestlers. The T-10 retreats, exposing its underbelly for a moment, and boom! Victory with the last shell. Wow, that is a Fade-In's medal, an epic base defense, and a great finale for the episode. Congratulations, Danny! That's all for this week. I wonder if you've seen any of those replays before. Well, I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments if you have. I'm Luke Neller. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.